Today, in the middle of winter, I'm going to start seeds outside. That's right. It's only mid-February in Michigan. We got a warm spell last week, so a lot of our snow is gone, but more will be on the way. It is mid-30s during the day right now and in the 20-degree Fahrenheit at night. So then, am I going to start seeds right here in my raised bed garden? No, not at all. They would never come up. I am going to start them in the milk jug greenhouse method. But I wanted to share with you a hack because I've came up with an improvement for that method. Let me show you. Now, we have 2 cats and they're very curious. So whenever I started seeds, I needed to contain them in basically a cage. Otherwise, they would end up to be cat salad buffet. Yeah, so I had to protect them from feline mutilation. Well, what I ended up using was my homemade brooder that I had made when we got chicks. And it worked out great. I just put my pots in the container, put on the cover, which I had cut out and put in hardware cloth, and then I just rested the plant light on top. That worked fine for my winter starting. But what happened when we had to add new chicks to our flock? I needed the brooder at about the same time that I would be starting my winter seeds. So, problem. Well, then I watched a video by Provident Preppers and they showed the milk jug method. Yeah, they kind of use one of these as a little greenhouse outside, and they set it outside in the middle of winter, and yet they said your seeds would sprout. Well, I was just a little skeptical because after all, this is Michigan, right? So I tried it last year, and boy, was I surprised. I had them out there for 10 weeks, as you can see right here in the snow, and I never even had to water them, not at all, for that entire 10-week period. And at the end, look at my little lettuce starts, and here's my kale. Now, it worked, like I said, great, but I did have one problem. It was in transplanting what was in the jugs. Now, for the lettuce starts, I didn't have any problem. I just pancake turner it in, right? Put it right in my bed, and it was ready to go. But for my kale, taking out the individual ones, in one case, I kind of ruined the roots, and it just wasn't that easy. So I started thinking, and I had one of those aha moments. Let me show you. So this year, I'm doing it a little different. So here's what you need. You need to have a relatively clean gallon jug that maybe had milk in it, water in it, juice, whatever. And you need the jug, but the lid, throw it away. You don't need it. And of course you're going to need some seed starter potting mix and a bowl to mix this up in. And you're going to need a good pair of shears or a box cutter and tape. I use packing tape, but you can also use electrical tape. And of course you need some seeds to start. In this case, we're doing cabbage. And you're going to need a marker. And there's one more thing you need. It is these net cups. And these are used by hydroponic growers and orchid growers. But I have been using the same cups for over 10 years to start my seeds. They work out great because see, there's air holes all over. So they're what I found the best for seed starting in the house. And I have a video on that if you're interested. But this year, for something like my kale and my Swiss chard, I'm going to be using these net cups with the jug greenhouse. Now we want to cut off right below the handle. So I'm just going to kind of give myself a little guide here. Should be probably about here and maybe about here and about here. Okay. And then it's real easy. Let's start here. Just right. And if you don't get it completely straight, it does not matter. And I'm going to go on this way too. And you notice I'm not cutting it all the way around. Okay? So I've left like that. Now, you also want to put some drainage holes in the bottom. I have 4 different holes here. And I had my husband drill them with his drill. But you could use, just heat up a nail and it will go right through here and leave holes, or anything else you have, but you do need to have some drainage holes. Inside you can fit 3 of these comfortably. You might be able to get 4 in if you really push down, but 3 fit just fine. It's important to get your soil really wet through, and maybe even a little bit soppy. You want to fill up your net pot here with your moistened soil. Okay. And you're just going to want to plant your seeds at whatever depth they need to be. There we go, 2 little cabbage seeds. And do that for each one of your pots. Make sure to layer the soil on the bottom of your jug. And then you're going to stick all 3 of your pots in the bottom of your jug. And I tucked soil all around the pots like this. Can you see? So basically it looks like there's 1 layer of soil, but actually there's 3 pots there. And now you need to tape up your jug securely. I am using packing tape all around, and I sometimes double or even triple tape it just to make sure. So here they are. Hopefully they're all securely taped, and in 8-10 weeks time we'll have seedlings started. So now when I have to transplant the seedlings from the milk jug to my garden beds, I can just take out the net cups and easily remove and transport those seedlings to my garden beds. And if you have any other suggestions, things that you found out using the jug greenhouse, comment below. And if you're interested in a great way to design your garden every spring, check out this video.